Hi, and welcome to A Punk with Toys. My name is Lawrence, and today we're going to be unboxing the Dragonfly and doing a review on it. And as you can see, it is right here. We have our O-ring Dragonfly right up here that we can compare it to. And I know it doesn't do that, but hey, you can't have everything now, can you? Now, I know right now you're already thinking two things. First, it's not the usual place you are at. You're absolutely correct, because this thing is too big that I don't want to try and review it on my small little area. And two, you're saying, how are you unboxing it when I've already seen you do, well, the Wild Bill video? And well, that's because there's a way that I like to review my figures, and that's straight out of the box. So we have to unbox this, get the figures out, I can show you, then I'm going to jump in and doing a Wild Bill review. And then I'm going to come back and do the Dragonfly, because I can't have a Dragonfly without Wild Bill in it. So anyway, that's what we're going to do in this video. I'm going to show you, in case you've never had a Haslab and you're wondering, hey, how do they pack the figures? How is everything packaged? Well, I'm going to show you exactly what it is. Also, we can see if there's anything broken right out of the box. We've already seen there's been some issues. Crazy Leg and Ripcore's legs breaking. I've seen that. We've seen the canopy on the Dragonfly. So I want to make sure that anything is documented, but also to show you guys exactly what you're going to get. If you haven't opened it yet, if you're still waiting, or maybe you've never backed one. Maybe you backed the Rattler and you're like, what the hell is it going to be like? How does it come packaged? Well, we're going to see exactly how well it's packaged. And I did this with the Hiss tank. I did it with the Sentinel, the Galactus. I've done it with the Sky Striker, but it's a whole new Haslab. I really only do about one every year. So anyway, let's get to this. But before we do, please take a second. If you haven't already, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a G.I. Joe classified video. And this is going to be a big one, guys. Alright, so here we have it. All we're going to do is let's get rid of our Dragonfly. Let's get rid of our figures here. We've got Knife Force Ripcord. We do have a regular Crazy Legs. We got regular Ripcord. And of course, we have Airborne. And you're asking, why do we have Airborne? Well, let's be honest. No Dragonfly is complete without Airborne. Alright? Turn this over. Now, oddly enough, we're actually not going to lift this up. It's actually showing you that it's this side up. So, more than likely, we're going to flip it up here. I feel like I'm explaining to you how to open a box, but let's be honest, some people might not really know how to, and that's kind of sad. All right, so open it right here. They do encase it in these little pieces here. All right, it's just to protect the corners. Again, most don't care about this box. Now, this is the first box, as you can see. And inside what we're going to have is another box before we get to the actual Dragonfly box. Now, both the Hiss and the Sky Striker came boxed like this. All right? So if you get a hole through it from, you know, what the hell is it called? A forklift, something like that, something that FedEx did, it's not on Hasbro. You can see exactly how well they package these things, right? They are packaged nicely, all right? And they do their best with something like this to make sure that that type of stuff doesn't happen. So there you have it. There is the Dragonfly right there. And we're going to pull it out the exact same way that we just opened up that last box, all right? Now again, some of you may be saying, why are you doing this? Well, this is how I like to do stuff. It's going to be a longer video, so if you want to skip ahead, you already know how this is. Go ahead, do so. All right. So the box is now out here, and we're going to be able to quickly take a look at everything. So there's our box. All right, Dragonfly. got a whole armada. You got the missiles that are launching off of it. Got your minigun. I don't know technically if that's a minigun anymore. Chips and salsa. I think they actually have a couple different labels on it. You got your missiles there. All right. Here we have another Dragonfly. So once you open it up, it actually creates a whole scene. Going all the way around here. On the back here, we have another. Basically, you can cut this thing out and show everything. All right. On here, we have the Dragonfly. All right. G.I. Joe symbol. There's your. Yeah, I can't read it. And then your Wild Bill logo. And then on the back here is your schematic for it. All right. As you can see, it kind of tells you everything that is in it. It is 34 inches long from here to here. Holy crap, that is huge. So yeah, get ready because I've seen pictures and this thing is a absolute space killer. But again, on here, it tells you everything about this. All right. You can kind of try and read some of this. We have stealth enhanced rotor blades. We got an air intake, canopy, pilot door, gunner door. Understand the pilot does sit in the back. Gunner sits up front, and that is really how it is. I don't know if you can actually see me here. You got your high resolution radar, which is a 317. A high resolution radar. You got your spotlights, ammunition bay access door, rear horizontal stabilizers, exhaust ports, twin turbo shaft engines, engine bay access door, air data system sensor, articulated VTOL wing, counter rotating coaxial turbine with nodar system. Whew, there's a lot to read on this. You got your M34 grenade launchers. You got your Creeper missiles. Your Jester missiles. Hoist with rescue hook. Remember, there's a lot of modular parts on this. You got your Dragon Breath rotary nose cannon. Laser guided 16 centimeter cannon pod. And then you got your 7 centimeter unguided rocket launcher. So anyway, a lot of different stuff on here. I mean, a lot of stuff to unpack throughout this video. So anyway, let's get to this here because I know you guys have probably read through this. You've probably seen a lot. I'm sure there's other people that have unboxed it like this. I haven't watched anyone else. All right. So we're going to pop this open here. And they put these little pull tabs on them so you can kind of pull everything out. Figures should be right up here. So here we have our figures. All right. As we open them up, the hiss came the exact same way. All right. Whew. That actually worked out pretty conveniently, just floating out there. So take a look at these really quickly. All right, so here we have our Crazy Legs Night Force. We get our Glenda figure, which has caused so much controversy with people. We have our Night Force Ripcord, which also came with the O-Ring Sky Striker. And then we have Wild Bill. And this is the guy we're going to be doing next in our review. So let's get right to that review, and then I'll come back to this. All right, so we're back from the Wild Bill review. Got the figures out. You can see them sitting over there. I'm going to do this best that I can. So this is how they all look, all right? So 2 more boxes. All right. We got our Yeehaw Champion. So here in this, we got the base. We got some missiles. Looks like the rotors. All right. Everything is in here individually packaged. All right. We'll close this up. And then what we have here mount. Self-explanatory, should be the base of our Dragonfly. All right, so let's just move this box. You can see my red curtains, so nobody can peek in. Here's your Dragonfly XH1. All right, as we flip it up, everything else is in here. So we got some stickers. We got the nice packaging, which is supposed to hold everything. And then underneath it, we can see there is the Dragonfly. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to unpack everything, have everything out, and then we're going to assemble it so you guys can see exactly how it's supposed to go together. We'll do it together. Hopefully we'll try not to make it too long. We'll go over the review. We're going to compare it to the original Dragonfly. But while you are waiting for me to come back, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, then hit that bell notification. Now, I'll be back in a short bit, but you'll never know. Alright, so I have this thing completely unpacked. You see I got the his tank, so we'll be able to get a size comparison. But it is out. I'm going to do my best to show you guys everything because there's stuff all over. First thing I want to mention is these are the blast effects. They do come in a plastic case with cellophane all around them. And yes, these do work with the Stinger missiles, and they will also work with the missiles over here for the HISS tank because they're the same ones that go with the Dragonfly, just green. But before anyone asks, here are the gun effects. We've been waiting for them. And they do fit. So you have the lower cannon that you can finally start to get some blast effects if you want it. Again, these can use for both, but they also do fit your HISS tank cannons, which I know people have been wondering, why the hell haven't we got some sort of blast effects? Well, there you go. You finally got some blast effects. We finally got some blast effects. I don't know why the HISS tank, it didn't come with them. It really should have, but that's actually the reason why I brought this out right now. Now, push that bad boy right back there, see if we can keep it out of the way. So we got some instructions, we got some batteries, we got a screwdriver, we got a pair of scissors. So quickly we'll take a look at all these stickers that we do have. So depending on what you want to do, you can do it however you want. I don't believe I'm going to be putting any stickers on this other than possibly the base. All right, but let's say you want to do a zombie Dragonfly, which is what I think this. No, that's not the zombie one. Here's the zombie one. So you got country, western, Sundance, butch. So if you want to put this on these, you can. You got chips and salsa. You got the big teeth marks, so you can do stuff like that. We got the yeehaws. We got these snakes wrapped around a horseshoe. We got aces, eights, UH. So a lot of different things right there. We got the Yeehaw Champion. Here we have our zombie Dragonfly. A lot of the stuff that you can use on it. This, if you are a skateboarder, you might remember the Santa Cruz Slasher skateboard. This is what this kind of reminds me of. And then here we have the big zombie Dragonfly. Here's the regular Dragonfly. Now, my Dragonfly over here does not have any stickers on it. I actually bought this pretty cheap many years ago, probably 10 years ago, with no stickers on it, which actually was appealing to me because you don't find that too often. So anyway, if I want this down here, that's probably where I'll put it if I decide to go with something there. All right, so here is our base. And it's actually not as heavy as you might think that it would. Now, the first thing that I did, I'm going to be 100% honest, is I hit this with a blow dryer just to make sure. We have seen these things breaking, and I wanted to be sure. So this thing is going to open up. So this is clearly how you're going to get the figure on the inside. But these are meant to open up. Now, you really need to be careful because it feels like it is just slid up right against there. Now this is for the pilot, or for the gunner. This is for the pilot to get in All right, so you just got to be careful. And there is a lip right on there. And that lip will hold it in place. But I heated it up to help try and make sure that it doesn't snap. It almost looks like there's some pressure right there. I can't tell like if that's a pressure crack or if it's built or if it's like cut in there so when this goes up. And then the same with this one here, right? So this piece is going to go up. There's a little notch right there. It's going to lip notch right on there. But I want to be careful. I know B's Battleground, Bobby B, he had one break. I believe they're going to send him out a new canopy. The other thing that people have complained about was right down here where this connects. So I think what happened was it was such a tight fit that when they tried putting it in, some of them put a little bit of a stress mark right up there. All right. So now to remove these, you're going to have to make sure that you can get that thing off. All right. But I don't think it's going to cause a problem. And it is a really small, slight piece there. Now maybe mine is different, but it does look like it has the same issue. But that is so you could slide it in, to be 100% honest. All right. You put this piece side in first, and then you kind of notch it in. So. All right. So I didn't want to leave this on the bottom here. All right. So it has some ties. And this keeps the skids apart from each other. Now, easy enough. I don't know if we can just... I grab my scissors, so usually I have snips. But I just snip this. Now, this thing doesn't matter. I was trying to remember where we saw this at. And then it dawned on me, oh, wait a minute. They actually did do an unboxing of the Dragonfly a while back. I didn't see too much hoopla of it this time. Like, this thing just kind of came out. They really showed off a lot more, if I remember correctly, of the His tank. There seemed to be a lot more going on, and I don't know why they don't seem to be doing it this time with this thing, all right? But this thing here is going to be something that we're going to get rid of, all right? I mean, you can keep it. You can probably find something to use it for, right? People are always customizing, always keeping little things around because something like this, I would say, probably can come in handy. Now, normally, in all honesty, you wouldn't be doing it with all this stuff right here because you wouldn't have a camera in front of it. But I wanted to show you. So this is just it right here. I'm sure you can find something to use this for. I'm sure someone's probably figuring out how to take that and then make it so you can put dock stretcher across it. All right. So on the bottom here is where we're going to put in our batteries. And I'm going to start with the batteries right away. All right. Just because less stuff on it, easier to get this thing off. And since I'm doing this on camera, then normally I would probably lay this down on a couch or on the bed, just so you don't have to worry about it getting scratched up or anything. All right, so make sure you put everything underneath our nice little ribbon here. So one goes that way. One's going to pop in like so. And then this one you leave out because you can access this one a little bit easier. All right. And I'm just going to throw this right back up here. And again, if you guys are wondering why I'm doing it like this, let's give you a first-hand look at how everything is. This is going to be a long video, guys. If this runs an hour or more, I would not be shocked. But we're really about to put this whole thing together. Now, we do have instructions here. All right. It tells you how the back of it goes on, how your propeller is going to go on, how your wings are. Everything else is something that is meant to be universally changed out, correct? Very easy to do. I don't think this is going to be anything that is going to really blow anyone's mind on how it needs to be done. Now, where the lights are at, where the buttons for the lights are, that's a whole nother story. All right, so we're going to just kind of push this to the side just in case. the button, I believe, is actually right here. So you can see it already lighting up. All right. Hit it again. You see those lights go on there. Hit it again. You got your spotlight. So your interior lights are on. All right. So it looks like there's a few different things that we can do. I'm going to hold it down. And everything goes on. Now, I'm not sure if we hold this down for a longer period of time, if it will just stay on, but we're going to leave it here. See what happens. We'll see how long this stuff stays on. I know people say, hey, do I really need that? I use it on my His tank all the time because I shut it off all the time. Or I mean, I turn it on all the time when it is dark. All right, so here we have the rear piece, and this here, two little tabs. It's going to snap in. So it looks like this. It might be a little difficult, but it should be able to pop out if you need to put this back in the box. I know Ken from Toy Connections was asking, or maybe not. You might be able to, but man, oh man, you are going to be. I'm never putting this back in the box. I'm just going to say that right now. All right. So everything was wrapped in plastic, and you didn't have to like cut the bottom or rip it out. It just folded over. It just popped right back out. No problem. All right. So here's our propeller. Pops right in there easily. Here are our blades. All right. They're keyed to go only one way. All right. And they do seem pretty sturdy. So I don't think they're going to sag like the original Dragonflies over time. That popped in nice and easy there. And now once we got it here, I'm actually going to hit that. I don't really have enough room. Yeah, I can't hit it. I can't spin it without moving the camera back. Move the camera back. And it does rotate fairly well. And actually it's going the wrong way, but so there you go. All right. Those popped in nice and easily. No problems at all. All right. So here we have our wings. Black is going to go up top. The green goes on the bottom because this is obviously where we're going to drop in a few different parts. All right. So pop this in here. And they snapped in really easy. You know, I probably should not have the His tank sitting right there. This thing is a space killer. And you guys want an F-14 Tomcat. You guys want an F-14 Tomcat. Yeah, I think you might want to rethink that right there. All right, so here is, like, I can't even get the whole damn thing on the camera. All right, so we got that all together. Now we have these two little pieces, all right? So there's 1, 2. Oh, they actually tell you to put it on here along with the rear fins. Okay, so I do not know why these are yellow, but I'm assuming there's a specific reason. But the nice thing is, let's say you want them to be green, you want them to be black, you can paint them before you put them on here, and then you don't have to worry about getting any paint on this thing. Which, let's be honest, is pretty nice because, oh, you don't really want that. So looking at these, I believe they're actually, they could go on either way. So you don't have to worry about putting them on the wrong way. They pop right on. And these stabilizers do work together. So you don't have to worry about one shifting and the other one not. So there must be a, like a solenoid, a tubing, I can't think of what it is, running through the middle that holds it on like that. So it turns together. And if I could think of it for the life of me what it is. But hey, the fact that anyone is still here is shocking. These are universal also. I love you got the little red on the back. All right, and these things are going to pop on like so. And everything is going on really easily. And this is, I mean, if you have the His tank, I think it's on the quality of that compared to the Vamp or the Stinger. Not that I think that those are bad quality at all, but I do think there is definitely a difference between those two between those types of vehicles. You know what? I gotta move this. This thing is just right in the way. And I guess even myself didn't realize how big this thing is. All right. So we're gonna push this just out of our way. Here's our base. All right. And a lot of this, I think most of you can figure out. It fits in only one way. The clear is really nice. So I think you'll be able to clean it with some cleaner as it gets dirty. But this is nice because hopefully it is not as easy to see once you got it on there. Now we got these two pegs. That's how that thing's going to go on there. I'm actually thinking about just kind of throwing it up there while I'm doing this, because I think it might be easier. So two pegs, they sit right there. Actually, if I do this, it's going to be out of sight. But we can bank it either way. And, okay, so it just pops on real nice and easy like that. There you go. I know everyone's already seen this. Now, how easy does it come off? Whew. So it is locked in there. I think over time, if you're just constantly taking it on and off, it might become a problem. But as of right now, not that big of a deal. All right, so let's start with our rail system. So the rail system is to keep these rockets in a nice, orderly fashion. But it's also meant so when you use this big blast here, you can see the slit right there is going to keep it straight. So it doesn't put pressure on the pegs so it doesn't bow down. Also should make it easier if they have to make a replacement part like this rather than something else. All right. Also, before anyone asks, I already went and checked. This does not fit with the HMS. So unfortunately, I wish the blast effect would have been made. So if we wanted to, you could have used it with the HMS launching its rockets, but they did not. So Hasbro, there's a couple things right there, some blast effects for all these vehicles that we could, that you could show us. You could give us. All right, so here's this rail system. We're just gonna pop these things on. I'm gonna assume that they only go in one direction. As you can see, the key is bigger here and smaller right there. That's what she said. So that pops on like so. I have it the right way. It looks like it goes either way. I thought it would actually be solid, at least on one side, but not so much. All right. So again, there is no way. Oh, man, his tank is really in my way. So there you go with this. Not that difficult, as we can see. Fits on nice and easily. And now you got these big rockets. All right. Then onto the bottom right here. All right. So couple different things that we can do. We can use this set of rockets. All right. And we can just kind of pop right on here. And I think people, I like this effect. This really gives me that little bird look. All right, and I know there are some people that have asked for a little bird, and a lot of people have asked Bobby Vala to create a little bird for the Valaverse line, which I think would be nice. It would be much smaller than this. Roughly, that little bird probably only go out to about this far. Probably is doable. All right, so you have this. You can throw the winch on. I guess you could throw the missiles right on the end. If you really want to load this thing up, like you want to send this thing in with some high power here. You got this. You got two little mini guns right here. You got two guns right here, and then you got your gun here. All right, I know that our buddies at Gridiron are already working on it. All right, so here we have the laser guided weapon. Now, trying to look at how this thing fits. So this thing is just going to fit right in here. You can see your giant ammo. All right. So if you look here, it's got a little spot right up here. Probably be easier if we get rid of these. Top of that right on here. And this should go up like that. So it just sits on there. And this is supposed to be, I believe they said, laser guided. I'm going to pull this off here. Take off one of these. I don't know if I'm going to put any stickers on this. I have not decided yet. And now we have our winch. All right. And yes, this thing does pull out. And then we just kind of crank it up. And it, wow, that is actually really nice. And it has the feel of the Dragonfly. That thing's going to pop on right there. Now, due to putting in batteries, they weren't able to put the winch in the bottom. I'm perfectly fine with that. I think that actually works. All right. So let's go in here and take a look at what I got going here. So here's your step. This is going to flop on down. As you can look, you can see the bullets and the rounds already popping into there. All right. So it does look really good. I love the fact that this is added. I believe, I thought this telescoped in and out. See, this does telescope out. All right. So you see that? I pull it out a little bit and then it can telescope back in. So depending on how you want that to attack. And I like the fact that this is also used as a step. So you're going to be able to get some really good shots doing this. All right. Here we got our engine. Pop open our engine. You can take a look at that. And then put some little paint apps on it. So it looks like the exhaust. You know what? I bet if we take off the big missile here, it'll be easier. Look at it. So there you go. Some detail in the engine. They did a good job. It was nice that they actually put an engine in and a door. Not everyone wants to do that. But again, looks pretty good there. No doubt about it. You get just putting the gold and then the purple. It just accents it just a little more than what a lot of people would expect. All right. You have your G.I. Joe Dragonfly right down here. The DFHX1. Beware of Blast, which we have known and seen it numerous times. All right. Wild Bill. Boom. Right here. In the pilot. And I don't know if they have a... They don't have anything for the gunner, which is perfectly fine because I don't think we really need a gunner. Number 24, I'm assuming that was the Dragonfly. Hard for me to tell. I can't really remember. All right. So now we're going to get into some more of the detail before we get into comparing it to our classic Dragonfly. All right. So what we do have here is a 3-piece minigun. I believe this is called the Vulcan, if I'm correct. And it does actuate up and down. Crazy concept again. Moves back and forth. And yes, we can take this. And we can't do that. You need to use regular blast effects with this. So if you have any of the Hasbro ones, yes, some of the Valaverse ones, again, I say the Valaverse ones are the best. I like them. They're nice and small. They basically do exactly what you need them to do. As I mentioned, we have this telescoping cannon or gun, which I definitely like the way it sits when it's pointing out there. We got pegs right down here. Pegs right down here, just like the original. And we are going to look at that in a second too. Dragonfly, as we showed. Here's your rescue. So if you want to pop this off, I showed you exactly. Be careful with this up here. I honestly don't even know how to show you guys everything. Here's our propellers. All right, system looks really good. You got detail right up here. Love the way it looks here. And it looks like it actually has hydraulics on it. Can't zoom in. I can zoom in. Looks like it actually has hydraulics. And once again, here is our light for everything. And if you hold it down, everything will kick on. All right, so everything kicked on right away. Going back to the engine exhaust here. Yes, I made that noise. We have your Beware of Blast right up here. I believe this is supposed to be the exhaust, so you have your jets coming out. They're going on angles. I'm not sure if that's exactly how it's supposed to be. All right, and then on the back here, we have these two wings. They do actuate back and forth depending on how you want it. And then we also have this piece, which should pop right off. All right. Now, a lot of people were a little confused by this. It does spin. That is what they say is supposed to control it. It doesn't have a rear propeller at the back here. All right. How do we get in here? I don't know. Quickly, let's show the blast effect before we get inside to that beautiful, beautiful cockpit. All right. I'm not going to lie. I think that is absolutely awesome. So, you guys are troopers for watching all of this. Here's our big, giant blast. Look at this thing. It looks awesome. Now, I don't know why. I don't know why you are giving us scrap irons rocket effects. They work awesome for scrap irons drone. They work awesome for the bazookas. They do not work awesome for the Stinger. Just let you guys know. All right. This is a hard plastic. All right. Much like the Sky Striker, if you have that, the smoke effect looks really good. So again, this is mint. So if we want it to look like it is firing off of here from the beginning, we can. And then if we want to make it so this thing is blasting it, it's launched off, and now you have this wonderful, wonderful shot. And there's no doubt this thing looks awesome. You know what? This thing looks fucking awesome. All right. Again, we can drop more weapons down here. And this thing does feel solid. Like, I'm not really worried that it's going to fall off. Let's say we want to put these big giant rockets on here. If I can find where it goes. Of course I can't. There we go. So that just pops right on there. These things come off. And they should be interchangeable. I'm looking at them. They're interchangeable. They should work perfectly fine on your HISS tank. So maybe you want to say, hey, you know what? Dragonfly went down. You got a HISS, and it's out of weapons, or it's out of missiles, but it has some of these, and maybe you want to just swap it, you can do so. All right? And the fact that they put this thing on here, I think is, I mean, it's twofold. I think this is good that if there's a breakage, this is what they can replace. And also, because of the weight of this, and there will be a lot of weight, it's going to stay up a little bit better. And they keyed it in there, which definitely looks really nice. All right. So we'll throw this thing right back on here. Okay. Now, how do we get to the cockpit? How do I show you the cockpit? And let's see exactly how this thing is going to lift up. So this thing lifts up. Now you can get our figures in there. I think I got to remove this. That's exactly what we're going to do. All right. So, looking at where this goes, first off, look at that detail in there. That is awesome. All right. So, trying to see, they are different. So both displays have some, it looks like there's maybe some that are similar, but they all look to be different. All right. So you're looking at two different gauge clusters. All right. And the green is such a nice light up. Here we have our stick. I forget exactly what it's called. They both have them back here. They move. They're extremely smooth, so they don't feel like they're going to break. We do have, oh boy, we do have our seatbelts, which we have, God knows we can struggle with those things. All right. Seats actually look pretty good. They got just a little bit of detail on it. It's really hard to see it come through, but all in all, this thing is really, really nice. It's got the black cone right there, so I don't think there's anything more to really show. All right, you kind of see everything. All right, I showed you how everything goes. So I'm going to come back, take a real quick second, and find a way to get both these helicopters on the screen. Okay, I'm going to do this the best that I can. So here we go. Here is the O-ring Dragonfly, and it has the same type of mini cannon here. Now, this had the laser guidedness. Now, if you don't know, there's actually two different guns. There is one that just moves back and forth like this, and then there's the one that moves up and down. So what did they do? They gave it the black nose cone, but they put black across here. Same style canopy, and all the way to the same neck that's holding on the propellers. And even when you look at the blades, I'll say it again, there's your hydraulics that you never even realize that's what they're supposed to be. Engine, same thing. The wings are meant to look the exact same. All right, you can see they're on that angle. I removed this because, well, you didn't want to see that because these ones didn't have it. I did throw on these cannons right here because they're similar, but what we do have is this gun. It even has the chain-fed bullets here, which this one didn't have it because this is more like a laser cannon, but that's what that's supposed to represent. Looking at the skids here, you have the peg right up here, so you can kind of hang out right here with them. I'm assuming this makes it so we have Crazy Legs and Ripcord can jump from this helicopter. We have the one gun here, which they actually do have right up here that a lot of people may have forgotten. Now, the original one didn't have it on this side, but why not put it on both sides? I have no issues with that. All right, so as we look right back here, all right, they tend to do a pretty good job. Here you have this little piece here, all right, that's supposed to be obviously rivets, a little vent. Well, guess what? They put it right there, all right? This is, I'm assuming, where the fuel is supposed to go or something similar. And even when you're looking at that top piece, they followed the design the same. We get to the back here, and we always thought these were 3 engines, but I'm assuming that's supposed to be the exhaust. This is actually the backblast. Backblast engines. They changed the design. This is a rectangular. These are circle, but very similar in design there. You got your stabilizers right here. And I think this is what some people are completely missing, is that they made this so the tail can move, but you want to put it in your original design. That is how this was. And then this here was covered, I think, for a specific reason, because let's be honest, this thing never made sense. But this is what that is supposed to be. So if you want your classic Dragonfly, you can kind of create it. A little bit of paint and you're all green. Maybe you put some red tips here. I'd rather have the white that just seems to work a little bit better. There's obviously no way to spin this. But all in all, I think just looking at this quickly, they did a marvelous, marvelous job that I can't complain with. But we still have one last thing to do. And that is get our guys in here because, well, no one wants a Dragonfly where someone's not going to fly. So, how do we do this? Well, I believe it is supposed to be same as our his tank, where it should just pop right out. And so he's going to fit underneath here. Then this is going to go over. And then I'm assuming you're going to fight with it to be where it needs to be. All right. Now, I do think I might have to get a second airborne. All right. Now, I did see someone say that they lost their glasses in here when the hat fell off. Well, come on, dude. Take a time, put him in first, and then place everything on it. But I gotta say, whew, boy, oh boy, oh boy. I think the seatbelts could have been done a little bit easier. Same with the his tank when they did it. So we're going to kind of pop this thing up. Let's see how easily this thing goes on there. Actually plugged in pretty nicely, pretty easily, all right? Well, maybe not. So I think we can feed these back. You do that with the his tank. I know you can't really see what I'm doing, but I think you can feed these back. So you can see actually where, you can see right there. See that right there? That's how they're sticking out. So you're going to push this back now. It's not easy. So good luck getting your shots. I would say you just kind of plug this in here, like so, and you're good. All right, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab our airborne. Let's get our airborne in. And again, if you don't have this, Mark II toys makes a nice replacement for this crappy airborne gun that Hasbro gave us. And I'm sorry, I don't feel we have to have all the exact same stuff, but even if they didn't, that's a crappy gun. Sorry, Hasbro, but it is. So airborne is in, flipped over. I wish there was a different way that they did this. All right. So I'm going to pop this in here. And his actually fit in or go back much easier than Wild Bill's. All right. So, Wild Bill to grab the yoke. I believe that's the correct term. And I'm not really going to fight with it right now. All right. I don't think you really have to worry too much about it breaking. Yeah, it's actually fairly easy to get on there. Maybe. You guys are troopers for sticking around with me. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. While you're waiting for me, please take a second, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and all that other good stuff that we've recently talked about. All right, so we're going to grab airborne, throw on his helmet. Boom. You know what? Come on, let's get these lights on. Ooh, look at the way they illuminate. They look amazing. I know people said this is going to be 2 hours long. It's going to be 2 hours, but it's going to be pretty damn long. And I would take the glasses. Be careful. Again, if it does fall, you're going to be flipping this thing upside down. But as I've mentioned before, put all this stuff on after you get him already in there, all right? And now we're going to shut it, and hat fits, he fits. Look at this. Boom. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful like this. All right. So there you go. There's your Dragonfly. What do we need to do next? Oh, I did grab this here. All right. Now, if you flip it upside down, you're going to probably be able to get it to stay. Well, not upside down. Flip it the right side up. But if you move it too much, well, it's probably going to fall off. But if you really need to store someone underneath there, is being medevaced, there you go. I have a feeling we will see Gridiron make something that goes down here so it can attach. Now, let's do a little bit of work here. Let's get this all up. Well, let's move this thing back just a slight bit. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. And let me come back into the picture like anyone really wants to see me. And I don't even know how much is in the picture. We got it. Oh, look at that. Perfect. So there you go. Spotlight should be on. And there's your spotlight. Look at how... Oof, Man, that looks really, really nice. The spotlight is right there. It would have been nice had a spotlight been down here, highlighted on this, but I don't have any figures here. But let's say they're looking for a downed dragonfly. Well, look at that. Now, really, this is what pops right here. Look at that. And that is just amazing. And I bet if I take a picture, or when I take a picture, it's probably going to come out even better. But that is really what this is about. That is what the Rattler really showcased. But this is this thing is a beast. It is a space killer, as we can see. And let's just go ahead and do what everyone else has already done. We'll throw one missile up here. We'll put one missile being fired. Maybe. Come on. Maybe if I put it the right way. That'll work a little bit better. Make this firing off of it. Take our guns. Blast effects right there. Now these also do work for the... They work for the back? I thought someone said they worked on the back. But I don't see anything. Maybe we have... get rid of... We'll throw one of these bad boys up here. And you can have... So it looks like one is firing out of there. All right. And then, of course, while we're firing from here, we take this blast effect. We're going to make one of our missiles launching off of there. So there you go. I feel like there's this. Oh, yeah, there's another blast effect. So how you be firing two missiles? I don't think you want to be firing this many missiles off one side, but who knows? I don't fly a helicopter. You might, and if you do, awesome. But I gotta say, this thing is nice, and not for 1 second do I regret getting it. But oh my gosh, I think when I find a way to pose it, I just might. But I think that's it. I don't know what else is to tell you, other than if you didn't get it, I'd say find a way to get it. Let's wrap this up. All right, so there you go. That is my review of the G.I. Joe Classified Haslab Dragonfly. Thank you guys all for bearing with me. I knew this was going to take a long time. Vehicles normally do. Haslabs have taken me forever. I'm not even sure. I think we're probably running about at least the hour mark. Thank you very much, though. I wanted to show you guys everything, how it goes together, what it looks like, what it's taken, what it's like when it's taken out, how it compares to the original Dragonfly, because I know there's always people that are really concerned because all they want is something that is very classic to what they had. And I think without telling you, and I really think they did not tell you, the Joe team did a good job of putting it in where it's like, hey, those back wings, which really don't make any sense, it's just like the original Dragonfly, and that little propeller on the back, that's how the Dragonfly was. And if you get rid of the missiles, then guess what? Like in the wings, you can make it look very similar. So if you're able to do that, awesome. If that's how you want to make your Dragonfly look, please do, because what have I always said? Like, hey, it's your toy. No one's coming to take it from you. I don't care what people said. Pinkerton doesn't really show up at your fucking house. Shouldn't say that too loud. I don't want them just knocking on my door. There's not much more. You've waited this long. Thank you very much. Please, if you're on Facebook and you want to follow and learn more and see what we have going on, Punks with Toys, because once you join, you're a punk with toys. Now, you have stayed this long, which means you got time. And what you're going to want to do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, then hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I drop a G.I. Joe video. But don't go anywhere. Right here is going to be the Wild Bill figure, and down here is going to be a playlist of all the classified stuff that I've reviewed, not retired. Take care.